I want exciting players. I like what the Ducks are doing. I think they're looking at what the Florida Panthers did in their kind of blueprint, and I think they're going for that.
Great comedian, Brad Williams. And if you haven't watched Starfish on YouTube, I recommend you do it. You would join 7 million other human beings if you did so. Brad, hello.
Hey guys, happy to be here. Happy to be on the podcast. You guys are talking Ducks, which I love. I like the trade as well. Good to have some veteran leadership on the Ducks, and the Ducks are one of those teams where I feel like they're really trying to make some moves and build toward the future right now. And as a Orange County born and bred Ducks fan, that makes me very excited.
Have you ever been to Offspring Night at the Ducks games? They do that a lot.
Dude, I have a jersey. I could go get it. It's like it's like the Offspring Ducks logo jersey. It's freaking amazing. This is gonna be a look at me Louie thing, but Noodles is a friend, so yeah, and he's invited us out. I've hit the siren before the Ducks game, and had all the smoke and stuff go off. That's I can't recommend enough if you're gonna be a fan of a team and you're going to be a D-list celebrity, find a team that doesn't have a lot of celebrity fans, because then they just roll out the red carpet for you. So the Ducks have been very kind to me.
Listen, I mean, I'm the biggest NHL fan on the planet, but if you want to be a D-list celebrity and just be an NHL fan, because the NHL rolls out the red carpet for people that most people have never even heard of. So,
Yes,
you are probably on the upper echelon. No, you're probably on the upper echelon of NHL fans at this point.
It's really interesting because here's where my level of celebrity is. When they announce me at the Comedy Store, they say, "Come to the stage next." It's Brad Williams. No one says anything, and then I walk on stage, and they go, "Oh, that guy." So that's the level of celebrity I have, where people go like, "All right, that's that dwarf from Instagram," but they don't know the name yet, so that's fine, totally fine. I don't want to get too famous anyway.
Who would win, one Kings fan or 1,000 Ducks fans?
Oh, I mean,
it's like one Will
right.
Ferrell against like 1,000 Brad Williams, or 500 Brad Williams and like 500 Dexters.
Oh, well, I mean, we got that. See, what people don't realize is we got a lot of angry people in Huntington Beach, California, and that's Orange County. There's a lot of people that, let's just say they can fight and they can throw down. So, yeah, we would win that fight. But I do love Will Ferrell's fandom. But that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm not a Kings fan, because if I want to drop the puck or whatever before the game, then I've got to get in line behind Will Ferrell and Justin Bieber and all the other celebrities. But I'm a Ducks fan, so it's like me, Dexter, and Noodles, Gwen Stefani if she ever comes back. Like that's about it.
What's her do you know Stefani at all?
I don't. That was a little before my time. She grew up in, I think, La Habra, and I grew up in Fullerton, California. So yeah, but I have connected with if you go to like Orange County famous people, or like famous people from Orange County, one of the people they list is adult actress Jenna Hayes, and so I've met her.
There you go. Nice.
Amazing.
Do you want Mitch Marner this offseason?
Dude, I want exciting players. I like what the Ducks are doing. I think they're looking at what the Florida Panthers did in their kind of blueprint, and I think they're going for that. They're changing up the style of play, obviously with the new coach, and it's going to be a little bit more physical, but I think they have the players to play his style of play. So yes, that's a long-winded way of saying yes.
Yeah, I mean, Marner, I feel like at this point, if the Ducks don't get Marner, people are going to ask what happened.
Here's the thing. If you get Marner, you absolutely have to trade Trevor Zegras. You cannot have Mitch Marner and Trevor Zegras in the same locker room, because they'll just be doing some weird fucking dances throughout the entire room. It's going to throw off the vibe, and you're never going to win a single playoff game. Correct or not?
So like, is there an NHL's version? Remember when Antonio Brown was like doing Instagram live in the locker room
Yes.
for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you just saw like there's freeze frames of Mike Tomlin's face, which I can only describe as like angry dad face. Like what the hell are you doing? I'm trying to think. Yeah. So if you have like if you can't have two TikTokers, it's been said a million times. If you have two TikTokers, you don't have one. So
That's right.
yes,
It's like what's the Killers of the Flower Moon? It has both Jason Isbell and Sturgill Simpson. You can't have both of those guys in the same movie because everyone has the moment where they see one of them and they're like, "Oh yeah, he also acts?" And then 5 minutes later, you're like, "Oh yeah, did they already show him? These are different characters."
Yeah, which is why you don't see me and Dinklage in the same project.
You know what? And fuck that. It does bring me to a great topic. My favorite thing about Starfish is that you bring up a term that Pete speaks often. We discuss a lot when we talk about NHL players. You, Brad Williams, hate the term short king. Explain why.
Yes, because it's supposed to raise us up, be like he's the short king, but it's like I hear short king and I just think of Lord Farquaad from Shrek. Like it's not exactly something that brings fear or respect. Like short king just sounds like I'm standing on a chessboard and I'm just like immaculately decorated. Like it's not a compliment. I'm here to have a new positive term for my tiny brethren. I'm here to announce it on your podcast. From now on, short dudes are going to be called Big Dick Magoos.
Easy.
Okay, I'm in on that.
Easy.
Okay.
I'm in on it. What's the threshold for that though? Because I often have the debate about like where the line is to be considered a short king. Where's the line for Big Dick Magoo? I'm
not the guy to ask because I have got like guys will tell me like, yeah, you're short. I'm short. I'm 5'6". I'm like, I would do horrible things behind a dumpster to be 5'6". So stop with your like, short guy's 5'6". Like,
I'm
no,
exactly 5'6", so this is very triggering.
yes. So
Do
stop
not
saying
take this
you're
away
short.
from me.
It could be a lot worse.
We're in the same fight together, even though we are not on the same playing field. But we are in this together. Do not take it away from me.
No, we're not. You are not considered short because you've never walked up to an amusement park ride with your fingers crossed. Okay, I have done that. Just like, come on.
We will talk though to like average size NHL players, and they will make a short joke at Pete though.
Yeah,
and it's weird for me because I'm like, at one point in my life I was 5'10", and now because of my posture I'm like 5'7". But like I don't get short jokes when I'm around him.
Well, that's why when I do meet and greets after my shows, and I do free meet and greets after all my shows, anyone who lines up, yeah, you'll get a photo. You can get a T-shirt or something if you want to. But when I do it, I see a lot of guys with the 5'6", 5'7" ilk because they're just happy to stand next to someone smaller, and they just feel good about themselves. I'm quite the ego boost.
Yeah, I'm really upset that we're doing this remote because this would be awesome for me if you were in studio. So if you're ever in Boston, come on by and we'll have you in studio and it'll be the best show that I ever do.
I am coming to Boston. If you go to bradwilliamscomedy.com, you'll see I have a date coming up at the Wilbur. It's going to be at
hell yeah.
It's going to be at the Wilbur Theater, kid. So, so if you're in the Boston area, by all means, get your tickets to that show. I'm glad I'm on this show right now because I am a Lebitard fan. I get the show. I listen to Dan Lebitard's show, and they've been coming at you, man. They've been coming at you.
Where what side of the street do you stand on? Because I know the streets don't rock with me when it comes to Greg Cody in Miami. Apparently unsafe. Are you a Cody head or are you a Team White Hat?
Dude, Team White Hat all the way. I'm wearing a black and white hat right now, if you can see the lines. So yes,
hockey is for everyone.
I am Team White Hat all the way. To call Connor McDavid Mick overrated is just the most insane, as you said in your rant, sort of easy, weak-minded take. I'm not going to go so far to call Greg Cody a senile old man. I don't think he's a senile old man. But yeah, it's just an asinine take. Now I come from Los Angeles, Orange County. I'm a Dodgers fan, and I've heard this kind of take about Clayton Kershaw for years because he would never win the big one or whatever. So he's not one of the best pitchers in the league yet. But it's like I look at that. It's such an idiotic take because anyone would trade to have him in his prime. And so it's like, oh, he's Mick overrated. And it's like hockey is one of those sports where, I mean, literally the puck could bounce in a infinite number of ways. It's not one person that could control. Not since, Gretzky, not since old videos of Bobby Orr, where Bobby Orr would literally skate out the entire game if the Bruins had a lead, where he would just go around because no one could catch him. That's where we have to go back to get that kind of dominance. The players are too good now. You're not going to get that insane amount of dominance. But even said, McDavid, you see him, and even someone who's not familiar with hockey, you see him play, and you can tell right away how much better he is than everyone else on the ice.
And not to mention, it's a second time in 2 years that Cody has done that column. And he won Conn Smythe last year despite losing, which is like the rarest of feats. So,
Yeah.
Are you of the belief that McDavid needs to get one, eventually to be considered one of the greats?
He does need to get it eventually, and this is where Cody will cut this clip, be like, see, you can't have it both ways. But I'm just that guy where it's like, he, despite the fact that he's been in the league, 10 years now? Almost 10 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, he's still young, and the career's not done yet. Think about how long it took Jordan to win. Think about how long it took, if you're going football, like John Elway to win a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Cody's a Miami guy. You think he looks at Dan Marino's career as a failure?
He wanted to trade. He wrote his most famous column is that he wanted to trade Marino from the Dolphins. So, at least he stands on business, whether it's his team or not. I can give that to him.
Yes, he does have the same lazy take, no matter what the sport.
His stupidity is unbiased. I can give that to him.
That's just columnists, man. Though, and I almost always disagree with it, but there needs to always be a place in the world for someone who watches a game and their thought on it universally is that team played harder than the other team. That team didn't have what it took. It's just always that. If you didn't win, it's because you didn't have what it takes. And I love that mindset. I disagree with it, but I need someone always saying it.
Yeah, it's that who wants it more mentality. So Greg Cody would say that if Ray Bourque didn't win that Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche at the very end of his career, when he wasn't Ray Bourque anymore, then his career would be considered a failure. Ray Bourque before that cup, widely regarded as one of the best, and had all the respect, and yet so that cup validates him. No, it's a team game. A lot of stuff can happen. I agree that McDavid does need a cup to kind of be in that, the Gretzky, Lemieux, all that kind of conversation. But at the same time, that doesn't mean he's not the best player on the planet right now, and we shouldn't be in awe of everything he's doing.
You mentioned the Avs. Why are you a Ducks fan when you're a Denver Broncos and Nuggets fan?
It's very complicated, my fandom. Okay. So I'm born and raised in Orange County, California. My dad went to Stanford. He wanted us to support a Stanford-led football team. So that was John Elway with the Broncos. The joke I make is that gave us Elway with the Broncos or Jim Plunkett with the Raiders. And because I don't have face tattoos or priors, we chose Elway with the Broncos. And so that's where that fandom comes in. The Nuggets fandom is just because they invited me out to a game and gave me really great seats and like had me on the jumbotron and everything like that. They were just really nice to me. They gave me jersey. So my fandom can be bought. I'm a born and bred Lakers fan from Los Angeles, but hey, if I get to high five the Joker, okay, I'll rock your jersey. So
I love that.
There's a very weird thing, and Pete's experienced it with Texas football. You've experienced it with the Denver Nuggets. I've experienced it with the Edmonton Oilers. If you were to tell any of us as children that you would grow up and become a fan of a team that like isn't in your city or whatever, you would think that was weird, or you would think it was forced or whatever. But one of the craziest experiences in life, and Sean, you haven't totally experienced this, is just like being an adult and suddenly a team gets its hooks in you and you're like, where the fuck did this come from? And it becomes like Pete doesn't do anything on Saturdays because we went to a Texas football game like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And like it made such an impression. And now Pete can't get Texas football out of his life.
Pretty much. I like it more than the NFL. So like you at some point, I think that you like learn that you have this agency that you can just decide something and commit to it and not really care what anybody else thinks. So like that is freeing. I was just curious, and you know, as with your fandom kind of being all over the map, you can identify with this, Sean. Your fandom's a little bit all over the map. Like what teams do you hate the most?
Oh man. All right. Give me the league. Give me the sport.
NHL.
San Jose Sharks. That's as a SoCal hockey fan. Yeah, whether it be Kings or Ducks, you hate the San Jose Sharks, and you can't stand them. If they never win a cup, I'll be happy.
But they're so bad and they're so fun.
Now,
did you not watch them this year when they had like Cody Ceci, Jake Wallman first pairing was the height of hockey. That was the most fun hockey has ever been. They did some magic shit this year and they never won a game.
Hey, I agree. As a Lakers fan, you don't think it wasn't exciting when it was Chris Paul lobbing it up to Blake Griffin? I went to Clipper games. I enjoyed that. That didn't mean I want him to win a title. I'm still a Lakers fan. So, but that's the team for me. And they've been a team that's been almost there like my whole life. Like I grew up with them having Arturs Urbe between the pipes and the shark goalie mask, and that was really cool. All the kids like that. So, but that's just where your loyalty lies. So as much as I'm touring San Jose, so I don't know if you guys are big in the San Jose area. Maybe they'll hear this and not like me, but San Jose Sharks, man, that's my least favorite team. And then with hockey, I don't know, like there's certain teams I don't like, but it's more like players. Certain players I just don't want to win. And like I know, like I totally understand the Mike Ryan take of he hates Marchand.
Even still,
I don't
come on. Even still,
I don't agree with it, but I get it that this guy tormented your team for years on the Boston Bruins, and now you hated the way he played. For me,
but the thing is, Brad Marchand didn't torment the Florida Panthers. Like when the Florida Panthers became relevant, that's when they started beating the Bruins. And Brad Marchand was getting knocked out by Sam Bennett in those series. Like, as a Panthers fan, you have no reason to like hate Brad Marchand other than just him being a general NHL kind of asshole.
See, that's it though. When I as a Broncos fan in the mid '90s, we got Bill Romanowski. And Bill Romanowski was on the Niners before, and he was on the Raiders before, and he was just always the dirtiest freaking player. You hated him. But then he came to the Broncos, and I was like, we like Bill.
Well, he was also like a borderline criminal. Like he was like
a 90s NFL player was a borderline criminal. We're gonna have to double check that.
I would let Brad Marchand take my daughter out on a date. I would not let Bill Romanowski within a mile radius of my daughter.
So
yeah, slightly different.
So where do you fall in this series? And I mean, you don't ask two questions because only one will get answered. But like, where do you fall in the series? And with someone like Marchand, do you have what Pete gets, which is the kinship with a guy who is under a certain height?
Where I fall in this series is, and my childhood hockey coach will hate that I say this because my childhood hockey coach is away.
Oh no, we got you.
We got you.
All right. My childhood hockey coach is a lifelong, diehard Calgary Flames fan, so this is gonna break his heart. But I gotta go Edmonton Oilers in this. That's that's who I want to win. I believe it's time, Canada. You need a cup. I want McDavid to get the cup. I want him to shut Greg Cody up, and now Greg has to acknowledge his greatness. What the Panthers have done is incredible. Going from one of those franchises that is just a footnote, that is kind of a joke of the league, to come in all the way back, and 3 cup finals in 3 years. And what they did with those trades, where they were winning a certain way, one of the best teams in years, but then they trade players to win in the playoffs. They trade fan favorites. That took balls. So I respect everything the Florida Panthers have done. Keith Tkachuk is like a Captain America guy, so I respect to him. But for this series and this series alone, I would have to say I'm rooting for the Oilers. And to answer your second question, I usually do root for teams that have a little guy on them. I like Darren Fleury when I was growing up. He was an exciting player. It was fun for me.
Amazing. Did you get pissed off with like Muggsy Bogues stuff in the 90s? Because people,
dude,
there was some real tokenism going on with that.
Yeah, that was my nickname on my YMCA basketball team, was Muggsy. So yeah, that was a little bit of cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
But yes, I loved Muggsy Bogues. I loved Spud Webb. I've gotten a chance to meet Muggsy Bogues. I have a photo with Muggsy Bogues, and when you hear 5'3" makes it to the NBA, but to see 5'3" in front of you, and then watch some of his clips, Muggsy Bogues had to be one of the most insanely athletic people to ever walk the face of the earth. Because to be 5'3" going up against 6'8", 6'9", 7-footers is just so. If there's a short person Mount Rushmore, or like, I don't know, Ant Hill or whatever, he would absolutely be on it. 1,000%.
Ant Hill for big dick Magoos in sports is unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, you can't have Mount with short people, so you got to go like Ant Hill, Rushmore, or whatever, and you definitely put Muggsy Bogues on there. You put Muggsy, you put Spud Webb. Despite the fact that he's done that he cost me a job, I'd have to put Peter Dinklage on there.
What job did he cost you, or is it like every job that he's had?
It's like every job that he's had, but then it was more direct with the Snow White, the live action Snow White. He came out and said he didn't want dwarves, and on a podcast he kind of said, "Oh, we're still doing that dwarf thing," and Disney panicked and they canned the dwarves in Snow White, and they made him CGI. And I just think, like, could you imagine, like, this is the clip that will get clipped out of all the hockey talk we have. But, like, could you imagine if they made, like, Amistad with CGI black people? Could you, like, that would just be, because they're like, well, it'd be too offensive if they played, like, you know what I mean? Like,
did you watch the Wonka movie?
No, Chalamet? I didn't watch the Wonka movie because they had Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
They had Hugh Grant as all of the Oompa Loompas, I believe. Or I think they only had one Oompa Loompa. That's what it was. There was one Oompa Loompa, and it was played by famously not short person, Hugh Grant.
Like you couldn't even make it be Danny DeVito, to where we could be like, okay,
close enough.
Right, he's kind of one of ours. Fine by me. Like, you couldn't even do that. You had to make
It's crazy because now, like
freaking grants.
whenever like anybody who doesn't fit into like exactly what the character is as an actor gets cast, there's like this big outrage. It's like, oh, Bryan Cranston is playing a guy in a wheelchair. You couldn't have cast somebody in a wheelchair. It's like, well, this person is an actor. They act roles. They don't have to be exactly what they're playing. But in the case, like, we're not going to be outraged that you're doing CGI dwarves instead of actual dwarves. Like that, everything seems backwards here.
Yes, the fact that they took dwarves out of the movie, that it wasn't like from the beginning, they're like, this is how we're doing this. It's like, no, they did it, and then they're like, oh, it's the reasoning behind it. It's like, oh, well, that's going to be offensive if, dwarves play dwarves. So...
Did you see the I wasn't wild about that show, The Studio, but I watched every episode of it. Have you watched The Studio?
I have not. I need to finally buck up and maybe do some more cameos and get a Apple TV Plus subscription.
Yes.
But I hear it's phenomenal, and there's obviously other great shows that are on there. So yeah, if you want to help me get Apple TV Plus, if your viewers can get a cameo from me, or go to my website, bradwilliamscomedy.com, buy a ticket to one of my shows, or buy my hot sauce. I have a hot sauce on my website called Death by Dwarf Hot Sauce.
Hell yes. Well, how much do you charge for a cameo? Because I saw on your Twitter bio, you said cheaper than Carrot Top on Cameo.
I am cheaper than Carrot Top on Cameo. That is one of my main advertising points. I think I'm $70. I think. I'm not sure.
How much is Carrot Top charging these days?
Those props ain't cheap.
Hey man, he's got a lab. Like, he literally has a lab. He has a workshop where he like gets to work out all those props. So I get it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying if you don't want to support the great Carrot Top. I'm not here for Carrot Top slander, but I am here to say that if you want a slightly cheaper comedian, I am available.
All right, well, Brad, you're fantastic. There's going to be more Ducks talk happening on this show in the coming months, so hopefully you will join us for that.
Dude, I am here. I love what like I said at the beginning, I love what the Ducks are doing. I think Carlson is such an exciting player, and he's definitely someone to watch in the coming years as he gets better and better. And now with the new coach and the new attitude, and obviously we're making some moves this summer. So the Ducks are going to be an exciting team. And how much is Canada going to hate, like, if Florida wins another cup, and then, like, next year it's like, oh, and then here come the Anaheim Ducks as a powerhouse. Oh, that would just be...
Our friend Gary would be thrilled. He'd be so happy about all of these booming markets.
That's right.
That is very true. He loves bringing a Stanley Cup out to the Carolina Hurricanes, the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Ducks, all that. He would love it.
As long as you work, you need to get on some like Arnold Schwarzenegger shit and run for office and see to it that state income tax is lost in California, because that's the only way you can have a good team. I don't know if you know this.
Yep, that is very true. I mean, the Ducks like to say, like, hey, you could live in Newport Beach and go to dinner and not be mobbed. So, like, that's their selling point. But the selling point is also, you're going to get taxed more and your contract isn't worth as much. So if I have to be governor, I can freaking be governor. And as long as there's no podiums. Podiums are bad for my people.
Okay, we got that. Everyone, head to bradwilliamscomedy.com. He is hilarious. And as I said, check out Starfish on YouTube. It's unbelievable. Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
Shout out to the Big Dick Magoos.
Yeah, I will be back for more Ducks talk. Go Team White Hat. Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.